Hey guys, Credenda here, and this is my part 2 to the practice mode tutorial combos I showed you guys in my previous video. Links to that will be down below, so be sure to check that out. But this will cover some more advanced combos and tricks you can do with Jayce. In the first video I did go over some more niche things you can do on Jayce, like for example if you're close enough you can QE if you're close enough, you can QE auto. If you're close enough to the dummy, of course, you can E auto. If you're close enough, E auto. Stuff of that nature. But in this video, I actually got inspired by a post on Jayce mains. I think it was 5 days ago by a redditor named Accelerated Blast, and he actually showed this hypercharge. I don't want to call it a glitch or exploit, but a mechanic with Jayce that I actually didn't know before. Because I had always assumed that the old bug that they had where you auto and switch to hammer form was removed, but with hypercharge it actually goes off every time as shown. Again, I'm going to link his video as well from the original post where he shows this in the practice tool. But if you W auto R, you actually proc 2 stacks of feather because it counts as a melee auto, your melee passive, and you also have the hypercharge into the next portion of your combo, which got me thinking, like, what kind of combos can you realistically do on Jayce with this new mechanic? So I was fiddling around here in this practice mode, and I just came up with this one combo that I think is actually super good in like a situation where, for example, the enemy laner is propped up against some type of terrain, or they are up against like these bushes up here, and that's simply, obviously there's an level 18 Jayce with full items, so it's going to deal a lot of damage. But the point is to show you what exactly this combo is super good for, and like locking them down and just getting all your burst off immediately. So first, without the QE, I'm just gonna try to do it for you guys and show you what it looks like in its like entirety. So the cooldowns are off. QE auto, E auto. Oh, it's got to be closer. My mistake. See, that's the situationalness of this actual combo. So cooldowns are off. QE, W, auto, E auto, auto. So you get 6 stacks of feather. Both of your passives are procced, and they're just jammed into that corner. Because you kind of implement the QE auto mechanic of them being really close to the wall. You implement the auto into, or the hypercharge auto into instant transform from the mechanic he found, and then you're just implementing all that into one combo where there's stunned on that wall, essentially just taking Jayce hammer. So I think that combo is really hard to pull off in practice. Obviously I think a combo that can just work regardless of where you are, it's just QE auto. Screwed it up again. See, it's hard. And refresh these cooldowns as well. QE auto, auto, E auto, or just autos. But definitely I think just for every combo I'm going to do from now on is going to be mainly just QE auto, E, if I can fuck it up. It's hard, man. I've been practicing this for a hot minute. But QE auto, 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 because you get your fervor stack so fast and all your damage is front loaded into that burst, whereas sure, you can QE, no mistake, QE standard W into bursting with your W. But a couple things, it doesn't give you the shred from your ranged auto, which is actually really huge. Shreds 25% of armor and mag resist, so all the damage you're dealing is dealing so much more increased damage. Yeah, it's so much more damage if you can get both procs off without sacrificing really anything from your combo in terms of fluidity. So that's a really advanced Jayce combo. Another one that I found just fucking around in here, because you know how you can't buffer your E, or else it just does this. So like if you E, here, let's reset the cooldowns. If you E flash, it's just gonna send him in the direction you did that in. Well, I found out that if you actually buffer it and then walk behind them, see, it'll do that if you fuck it up. But if you walk behind them actually while you do it, like while you're walking forward, you can actually knock them in a chosen direction while buffering your E. There you go, I did it a little bit there. But I was practicing this over here, and I'm just imagining like a situation where maybe there's like an AD carry that comes up too far, and you just time it perfectly. See, it's super hard to do, but the insect is possible if you time your flash just right. Obviously, in a real game, it's going to be really hard to pull off, and I don't even think I'll even attempt this because flashing is just so much more consistent, even if it does give them a little time to react. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty interesting with Jayce, that you can actually potentially insect people if you time it perfectly correct. Another and the final type of advanced, I guess, Jayce trick I have for you guys is that, you know, when you Q flash, I think I explained this a little, I touched on this a little bit in my previous practice tutorial video, but if you Q flash, the trajectory follows where you originally aimed the beam. So if you Q here and then flash up, it's going to go that way horizontally. If you Q vertically and flash horizontally, it's going to go vertically still. It's not going to shift with the direction you flash in. So I was thinking potentially you can aim your QE around certain objects to get to the back line. Maybe if they're super low and like tanks are just hugging them, there's actually a way to get around certain enemy certain enemy defenses with this kind of aiming technique. So say someone is like right here, they're kind of blocking, and you know if you QE they're just going to walk in front of it. Well, you can actually kind of curve your QE with this method. So you Q flash E, I fucked it up a little bit there. Q flash E, and you can actually curve your QE into the direction of the other person. So say you're walking back, and you just Q flash E them. Also, really, I was just thinking about the uses of this, and in lane, if you ever wanted to pull off like a nasty QE around minion waves. So say for example, I guess I toggled minion despawn off, but say these are the minion waves, right, represented by this, and someone's like hiding behind this, and so say for example there's like, here I can just spawn more nubbies right here. Say there's like 3 dummies right here, 3 minions, and obviously like you can keep flashing over it, but it's usually people understand if they played against Jayce a lot that you can actually do that. You can flash over the minions if you're good enough with it, but not a lot of people will really expect like curving it around it. So like if he's like trying to posture right here, right, I can just God, that was a really bad one. I can just curve it around it and still hit him if I aim in the right direction. So like if I'm like standing right here, right, like standing right here, he's like, oh, okay, like what is he gonna go for? What is he gonna go for? And then just Q flash E right into it. Really hard to conceptualize, and that's why I love Jayce as a champion. Just so hard to really understand all the combos and things you can really do on this champion, and it's super hard to execute perfectly in game. But I feel like practice school is going to bring out a lot more Jayce mechanics that we have yet to see, and I think it's going to be really cool to see if maybe like the top Koreans or something can like pull this off in game, because I think that'd be pretty fucking insane to watch. Again, guys, thank you for watching this advanced tips and trick video. Hope you learned something new, because I certainly did today. And have a good one. Peace. Smelling like the gas, yeah, you know it's us. Girl sipping syrup, booty twerking on my tour bus. 3 deep in the 2-seat, foot up in the clutch. 3 deep in the 2-seat, yeah, yeah, yeah.